alike. Congratulations, Cindy Silvers. Next, representing Harris County High School, please welcome Tiger Teacher of the Year, Deb Hughes. Ms. Hughes teaches business education and marketing hospitality and is celebrating an outstanding 26 years in education. Her real-world expertise and commitment to student success opens doors to college, careers, and leadership. Congratulations, Deb Hughes. Also from Harris County High School, please welcome Support Professional of the Year, Michelle Edmonds-Snap. Ms. Edmonds-Snap serves as the front desk liaison and is celebrating 2 years of dedicated service. Her professionalism, warmth, and welcoming smile make her the first friendly face every visitor and student sees each day. Congratulations, Michelle Edmonds-Snap. Representing the Transportation Department, please welcome Paul Bowden.
All right, E, you ready? Yep.
Mr. Bowden serves as Transportation Supervisor and Lead Driver Trainer and is celebrating 7 years of dedicated service. His leadership and commitment keep our buses safe, our routes running smoothly, and our students arriving ready to learn. Congratulations, Paul Bowden.
9 here in the county. The Tigers are 3-5, facing an undefeated Central Carrollton Lions team. They are 7-0. Big game for the Tigers, hoping for a big upset here at home. And it's a pink out game, so the Tigers are hoping to come in here, see a lot of pink in the stands for breast cancer awareness, as it is obviously October. And, you know, to the game a little bit, Harris County is going to have to shut down Central Carroll's running game with their running back who was committed to Notre Dame, actually. So if they can shut that down, I think they're going to have a lot of opens defensively and offensively as well, if they can get their defense off of the field pretty quick. And Jalen Robinson had a great game last week. He had a touchdown, and Harris County's lost to Stars Mill. But he's staying hot, staying consistent, and we're hoping to see a little bit more of that here tonight. And, you know, another thing is the seniors, there's only 2 games left for the seniors here in this class, and they're both at home as well, so I know they've got to be really stoked about that. And I'm sure everyone else is in the locker room for them, and everyone in the stands are hoping to see the ball out and have a great 2 final games of their high school career. And they're also presenting Teacher of the Year right now here in the county, and it is a great atmosphere. Tigers are hoping to get a big upset. We'll be right back with the second segment of the Carolite Colin Countdown to Kickoff.
Nestled along the Chattahoochee River, City Mills blends historic charm with modern luxury. Stay in boutique-style rooms designed for comfort, just steps away from fine dining at Millhouse Kitchen and Bar. If you're planning a celebration, our event center offers stunning river views, elegant spaces, and a brand new riverside tent, perfect for weddings, receptions, and special gatherings, rain or shine. Whether you're here to relax, explore, or create lasting memories, City Mills is where history meets hospitality.
And welcome back to the Carolite Colin Countdown to Kickoff, and we're joined here by Elizabeth Fisher for our Around the County segment. And what's been around the county, Elizabeth?
Well, softball won Monday in a sweep to win the first round of playoffs. They'll be back home for the second round before going to South Commons at Monday at 5 and 7, and then an IF game on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Everyone around here is buzzing around that. We are excited to see that. And also, I mentioned before the break that the Teacher of the Year has been presented, and it's Miss Doman from Park Elementary, and she's going to have a great night here. And but tell us a little bit about what goes into Teacher of the Year. How do these teachers get nominated, and how do they win it?
Well, from what I have heard, the principals nominate them and choose from throughout the schools, and then from there, the Board of Education, Dr. Feeney, and other people go around to these schools and watch the teachers teach, and then they overall just compare and choose the best one they think.
Absolutely. I mean, and all the teachers just want to give a quick shout out, and us as students there appreciate the teachers so much here at Harris County. And a little bit more with around the county. You mentioned flag football will be coming up soon back at home. And when do they start region play?
They start region play at 10:30 at Heard County, and they're going 7-1 right now, so they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, and you say 7-1. That's 7 straight wins. They lost their first game, but they have been hot, and so now they're 7-1. And so that's going to do it for me and Elizabeth Fisher, and we will see you next week on the Caroline Colin Countdown to Kickoff.
And remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
What's up, everyone? Thrift Behringer here with Masterwall CEO C. Smithwick. They're one of our first sponsors. We didn't even know what sponsors were 4 years ago when I was doing this off my phone. Thank you so much, C, for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Oh, it's something that was needed for so long in the Valley, and me with my history of being a coach and all. Love to support it. You do a great job with that. Even when you were doing it on your phone, it was great.
I appreciate it, man. And again, we wouldn't be able to cover the 50 different high schools and all the different sports without Masterwall and different businesses like yourself. But you're also a coach and now a award-winning author. We have Believer, Bulldog, and Coach. You can get on Amazon right now. You were the winningest basketball coach in Calvary history. What was the mindset behind writing this book?
Well, it's, I kind of treated it as a ministry, and I treat our business as a ministry. Loved what I did as a coach, working with those young guys and trying to set an example and point them in the right direction, and kind of do the same thing with business. So, you got to build it with a lot of good people around you, the right support group, and once again, I call it a ministry because that's the way I see it.
You can get this award-winning book right now on Amazon, and it's going to tell the whole story of C. Smithwick from being an award-winning coach and a Hall of Famer and having the court named after him and then building this incredible business. I can't wait to dive into it, Coach.
Good. Hope you enjoy it. It's about never giving up. So that's what a coach needs to know. It's what an entrepreneur needs to know.
The name of it is Believer, Bulldog, Coach, right now on Amazon. And thank you again to C. Smithwick and Maxwell for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Thanks for having me.
Catching Christian Olsen, 25, 20, 15, 10, touchdown Tigers! Harris County rises to the occasion again. This is Harris County football, and nobody does it like the county.
And welcome to Hamilton, Georgia. Derek Moxley Concrete Service, Harris County Game of the Week. Rick Beach and Ethan Petitt here with you high atop Danny Durham Field here at Tiger Stadium. Pink out going on, breast cancer awareness, and your 3-5 County Tigers taking on 7-0 Central Carrollton Lions. A game last year, Harris County played really good up in Carrollton, come up just short at the end, but it's a great ball game. It's kind of, to tell the two teams in that game, we're hoping to keep some of that momentum, and maybe, Tigers looking to pull an upset here in Hamilton tonight. Ethan, what are you kind of excited about tonight?
Really everything, honestly. Just getting to see how this team can bounce back, and we've seen them bounce back before, from tough losses, and hopefully they can continue to do that tonight, and obviously it'd be a big test in Central Carrollton. You mentioned they're a very good football team, but, Harris County likes that, right? That's something Coach Watson likes. He wants to go against, teams that are going to be physical, teams that are going to play some good football, right? And I think Harris County's excited and very hyped for this matchup.
Yeah, you're right about that. You see the captains down there. That's your Whistling Pig captains for tonight. See Carter Myers, Nolan Johnson, Cowboy Wes Sappington, and Reggie Brown as they're waiting the okay to walk towards midfield. They'll line up on the 50. Then when they get another okay, walk in for the kickoff. And Carter and Nolan kind of been staples with the captains this year, especially Carter having a fantastic senior season. Two-way playing some running back, but at that middle, kind of holding down the defenses this year for this Tigers team. We talk about the youth on offense, and, you look at the defense. You've got a first-year defensive coordinator coming in, Coach Winkles. So they're trying to get, learn that, figure that out. It's kind of been a learning side on both sides of the ball. But what can you say about Carter Myers this year?
Oh, he's been great. He's been great from every he can play both sides of the football, and he's great at both sides. And that's someone that every coach likes to have, and that's a player that every coach, like I just, said, they always like to have a guy that can play football like that, both sides of the football, and be good at both of them. And I've been so impressed on what he's done this year and how he's played.
You're right. You see the weather right there at 74 degrees. It's going to be chilly up here tonight, especially up on where we're at. But even in the stands on the field, it's going to get chilly with the wind coming off that mountain over there to our left on the water tower side, 74. But as the captains line up, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to try to have some football right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Step into history at Millhouse Kitchen and Bar. Nestled along the Chattahoochee River, Millhouse is more than a restaurant. It's a dining experience. Enjoy Southern classics with a bold twist, river views, impeccable ambience, and exceptional service. Join us for dinner or cocktails and see for yourself. Reserve your table online at millhouseatcityknolls.com.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
And welcome back. You see the captains down at the coin toss. So we're getting ready for the Derek Moxley Concrete Service Game of the Week here in Hamilton. Beautiful football evening right now. You got that little chill in the air coming in, and it's just feels like football finally. Got the smoke coming across, got the Mr. Lenny's hamburger smell in the air, and it's just what football's all about up here in the county. And, we mentioned the pink out. Guys, a lot of pink in the crowd. I'm sure we'll see some players wearing pink. And here they come out of the tunnel. Running out onto the field is your 2025 Harris County Tigers. They're getting ready for some action here tonight. Central Carroll with a big crowd tonight across the way. As we look down here, and it looks like Harris County will receive the kickoff to start the game. And they'll be driving towards the water tower with their back towards the school. Is how we'll get this thing started. Central Carroll still hasn't ran out from their banner over on the opposite end zone. They're waiting on their captains to get in there, and they'll come out. We mentioned they are 7-0 this season, having a great season up in Carrollton.
We would like to wish both of these teams
The officials meeting at midfield, getting ready to go. We can't wait to see how, Harris County bounces back after last week, a game they felt they should have won. And I felt, I think everybody that watched the game kind of felt that way. And you just, you had to just get away from you there at the end.
Yeah, I was watching it last week, and I was impressed, or I should say not impressed, with how Harris County was playing. Special teams again came back to bite them again, and that's something that's been, at the top of their radar all season. Harris County's got to be able to limit the kick returns,
yes.
And hopefully they can do that tonight. That's one thing, if I can see them clean up, it's that, and also the penalties, and that's something me and you have talked about all season since week 1, is clean up the penalties, especially the pre-snap penalties. Those are killers, and hopefully they can do that tonight.
Yeah, it is, and we're getting ready to go to give you some people to watch. On Harris County's on defense, we're looking for Carter Myers, Preston Jenkins, and Reggie Brown, and P.J. Sterling. We mentioned those names. And Indris Albury, we talk about him. He's going to have a big role in tonight. And when Central's on offense, we're going to look at Jonez Walden, number 5, their running back. He's committed to Notre Dame. He's a 4-star on 24/7. And when we're on offense, it's going to be number 3 and number 8. We're looking at Caden Harrison and Jalen Robinson, hoping to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned in the pregame show that Jalen Robinson's still staying consistent as he has all year. Had a touchdown last week. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of that here tonight.
And Harris County will be on offense to start this game, as right now they're getting ready to kick it off is Central. Jake Davis, the junior, will be doing the kicking right here. Jalen, I believe that's McGee's going to return it for Harris County. We're getting excited. Fired up crowd, building up the atmosphere here in the county. Long delay, waiting to see what the delay is. The official's got the ball in his hands, so it's not waiting on a kickball. We mentioned Zephaniah. He looked good to warm up this morning when we were down at the indoor. McGee was looking good. Seeing him, he's had a fantastic season in the special teams. He filled in punting early in the year. Me and you were talking about that early on. He even brought it up with Coach Watson when we spoke with him early in the season. He filled in a need there, and he's had some good kickoff returns. Zephaniah McGee, number 24. Then can't say nothing else about how good Jalen Robinson's been. When you're looking for a bright spot on this offense, him and Caden Harrison have really been that bright spot, during this time here at Harris County. And there's still lengthy delays. We're done got to 7:32 here in Hamilton and still waiting for kickoff. And Ethan, I don't have any idea what's going on. So we're waiting. It's an old school feel. All you hear is the cheerleaders going right now.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on either.
Keep looking over there, just waiting to see.
Like you mentioned, he has the football.
Yeah.
So shouldn't be an issue on that.
Harris County's been lined up for a while. Okay, I see the white hats looking over towards the press box, and maybe they're waiting on an official, the game official, to get settled in the press box area. We mentioned the crowd, the band from Central Carrollton taking up a lot of that space, which we know the bleachers here in Harris County on the away side aren't the highest. It's a narrow, but it's length of the field almost, stretching from about the 20-yard line to 20-yard line.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Looks like we should be getting started.
About to get a whistle here from the white hat, and he's got the ball on the tee, so we're ready to roll. Jake Davis Going to count off his steps. Harris County goes back at their return. You got Cade Tyus standing on about the 17. If they try something short with Jaden Brown across from him. Here comes Davis's kick. And we're playing football in Hamilton tonight. And it's going to sail to about the 3. Jalen drops it, trying to find it, picks it up on the run. Gets across the 15, brought the 20, 25, 30. Here he goes on the 40. Davis trying to chase him. Can he beat him? Makes him miss. And slung down by the 33, 34-yard line. And if you're looking for an upset, that's the way to get going and fire the team up on the sidelines.
Absolutely. To win a game like this, you need a lot of things to go your way, and that's one of them. And Jalen Robinson, you were talking about Zephaniah, and, we also mentioned Jalen, but not only kick return part of his game, but he just proved there. I mean, he can do it all.
And here we go. Harris County start on the 34-yard line.
Something with fumbled kickoffs that I just think it messes up kickoff teams so much because, I don't know, I just feel like they think they're about to go down or something.
Pistol formation. They're going to hand it off to Nolan, and Nolan bangs it in there for about a yard. Offensive line tonight, you got Liam Colley at right tackle, Wyatt Williams at right guard, Cowboy in the middle. Then you got Sam at left guard, and it looks like Trey Anderson, the sophomore, is at left tackle tonight playing for Connor Creed, who got banged up a little bit. They're going to throw it out here to Matt Love. Catches it behind the line of scrimmage. Makes a man miss. He's going to get a gain out of it, possibly maybe just got back. Yes, that's Collie, Williams, Sam Barfield, Cowboy, and Anderson on that offensive line, who's got their hands full right here on this 3rd down and long, about a 8 situation for Caden Harrison, second-generation Tiger quarterback. That's Alex Sloan up at the top. Then you got this formation with the Anderson and Barfield. There goes Love in motion. He's dropping back. He's going to look deep. Nothing is there. Anderson's coming to try to make a block, and they throw it out. And on 3rd and 8, get an incomplete pass. Yeah, Barfield and Anderson down here try to make that screen look, hoping to draw in the defender. They didn't. Looks like County's going for it as you see tight end Finn Taylor running into the game in that 47 jersey.
I think the first read there was that seam with Douthit. The safety did a good job of taking that away.
Here's 4th down. They're going to fake it. Throw it over here to Robinson right through his hands. And after the kickoff return, they'll take over about the 32, 33-yard line. And it'll be quarterback J.R. Harris, who is a junior too. You know, that kind of threw me off on his name. I was making sure I said his name and not his year, but his name is J.R. Harris, and he's a junior. He's got 20 touchdowns on the season. And that's going to be Zylan Person in at running back. And they're in that pistol formation. County jumps, but they get back, but they're going to flag them. And just like that, it's going to be 1st and 5. And that's something this year that, make no bones about it, has been the big black eye for this team, has been penalties self-inflicted.
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned that right before kickoff. I was hoping they could clean some of that stuff up. And I was really referencing more offense than defense, but you see right there, it cost them.
Here's Harris dropping back, going to throw a quick out, and it's going to be to the running back Walden, who's out there at the slot on that play. And it's going to be 2nd down and about a couple inches, it looks like, how close they put that score pile on. Now Walden's going to move back to running back, it looks like, as Pearson runs off the field. Harris is going to have Walden to his left. Kind of group the receivers close to the line to his right. There's a snap. He's going to drop back and look. Another out. Throws it high and through the hands of his receiver. Avery Tanner, his intended target. Bring up third down and short. And you got to think they're going to see Walden right here on third and short.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a guy on short yardage tries. I mean, it's almost automatic. I really hope this defensive line can make a stand here.
Pistol formation. Man in motion comes across. They fake it to the man in motion. They give it to Walden. He's hit. He drags bodies with him, still dragging. And he's going to get about 7 yards on the carry, and that'll take him out to the Harris County side of the field. And you can see right there why this young man's a 4-star committed to Notre Dame, as he shows just sheer strength right there with that lower body coming in. Harris going to sling it over here. Finds a gap, shoots it through. Carter Myers gets the tackle. The Allison Simmons gets another Lions first down, and they're coming right downfield, Ethan.
Yeah, absolutely. But Harris County doesn't want to focus so much on the running game with that Notre Dame commit, like you mentioned. But this is a team that can beat you through the air too.
And here they go, spread out, 5 wide. Walden kind of rolls back. They're going to throw it across the field, and off the fingertips of the receiver. That was Jake Ivester, the intended target. There you can see Jalen Robinson making the play on defense, all on special teams. And it's going to be Central Carroll's ball right here on the 39 for 2nd and 10. You're going to keep 3 receivers up top, but kind of the backup running back in the slot. Walden down here at the wing position. Expect some kind of motion maybe with him. Now they're going to come from here. They're going to fake it to him. Try to shovel pass. It's going to be incomplete. That was a shovel pass trying to get the ball to Jonez Walden. And it's incomplete. Here's a big 3rd and 10 right here. And Harris County's looking for a stop.
Yeah, this is where Harris County's going to have to get off the field on 3rd and 5+, because this is not an obvious run situation. They got to make them throw the football. And Harris County, this is where they're going to have to get off the field, like I just mentioned.
Here they come up to the line. Pistol formation. Straight drop back. He's got a man coming. Throw it down the middle. Caught. 10-5 touchdown. And that was Simmons with the catch. Allenson Simmons right down the middle of the field for a touchdown on 3rd and 10. We knew how big that was, try to get off the field. And Central Carroll, sensing that urgency coming from the Harris County sideline, just ran a man right down and split the safeties and got the touchdown.
Yeah, and I really don't like trying to play the interception right there because you undercut it. And if he would have just kept going backwards, he could have made a play on it, even have it drop incomplete, force a 4th and 10.
There's the kick up and through. And just like that, it's 7-0 right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
And welcome back to Hamilton, home of Harris County High School on a beautiful Friday night in the fall. Don't get any better than this weather-wise. It's probably about 78 now, I would say. Maybe a little chillier than that. Brandon Schwebel reminded me it's 73. And Davis with the kick. High drive is going to go into the end zone and land. One bounce out. And don't forget, at the end of the game, we'll have the Alex Quindy All-State Good Hands Player of the Game. Appreciate Alex and what he's done the last couple of years with that award. And here we go. See the sponsors that make these possible. Christ Chapel with 2 services on Sunday. You got the 9:30 and 11:15, and also Pine Mountain Chiropractor Dr. Jeff. Whistling Pig had that today. Q Tater, CaroliteColin.org. See Bashir's Kubota. See Joe Dasher, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and Watson's Exterior Services. Appreciate all them making this possible here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live Harris County. So here we go with Harrison by himself back there. Throws it out here to Love. Tries to make a man miss and can't. And he's going to lose a yard. Now make it 2nd and 11. Harris County, they use those wide passes, outside passes, as an extension of their run game.
Yeah, I wish I would see more of throwing downfield. And because especially on those, you're just losing it down when you're already throwing it behind the line of scrimmage. I would really like to see them throw it more downfield with a quarterback that very well can, too.
And here comes Harrison. He's going to drop back. We might get the chance here. No, it's there's a wide pass high and brought down about the 47, and it's intercepted. Allison Simmons.
When I said throw it downfield, you know, I wasn't
meaning. And that was Matthew Alexich. I'm sorry to cut you off. That was Matthew Alexich at quarterback throwing the pass that got intercepted. But, yeah, you were saying when you mean go downfield, you know, sometimes have a little more sensibility about it.
Yeah, and I think that was just kind of trying to get something going there, right? But, you know, forcing that ball in there, really double coverage.
Central Carrollton at the 45 already. There's a handoff to Walden trying to find a hole. He goes to the outside. Harris County runs him out of bounds. About a 4-yard gain. Bring up 2nd down, a medium situation for the Lions. Harris in this pistol formation. Walden going from the little tight end spot, and then there's a flag, a false start. So back them up 5 and make it 2nd and 10 here. We mentioned they're 7-0. 3-0 in the region. We got 3 more region games. You know, Harris County gets that bye week, the last week of the last week of the season for everybody. So, you know, teams like Central Carroll has 3 games left as we only have 2. Here's the pistol formation. Now same formation, Walden going in motion. He's going to streak downfield. They're going to throw to the other end of the field. High pass caught. Yeah, nice tackle right there by Jalen Robinson to bring him down as Allenson Simmons makes the catch. He's been all over the place for the Lions tonight. He's played cornerback and got the interception to set this up. They had the touchdown catch earlier. So he's making some plays. And they're going to hand it to Walden, get to the outside, and looks like he's going to have a first down or they're close to it. And they're going to move the chains, be first down Lions. And here they come, coming down the field. Harris County's got to look up, step up, try to make a big play right here to stop this momentum.
Central 1st and 10 from the Harris County 35.
He's going to have Walden to his right. High snap, toss it out to Walden. Harris County making a diving attempt. And it's P.J. Sterling gets the tackle for a loss on that play. Great pursuit by P.J. right there.
Yeah, great job by P.J. shooting the gap and a great open field tackle. We mentioned this running back, he's usually going to break those, but with a guy like P.J. who tackles so well, great play there. And now you set up 2nd and long for them.
Harris in this pistol formation. Now he's going to put the running back to his right as he's going to drop back. He's looking downfield. He's got a man in the middle, and he's streaking towards the end zone, and he's found the football. And again, Touchdown Central. That was number 0, Jacob Vester, making the catch, his 5th of the season. And we're still halfway through the first. It's already 13-0 Central. And, you know, we talked in pregame and we talked in private earlier tonight. When you want to pull the upset, you got to take advantage of the shots when you get them. And after the kickoff return to start, you had a good field position. Harris County not able to take advantage. The other thing is when you're pulling an upset, you can't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
Especially on your end of the field.
Absolutely. And, you know, we said a lot of things have to go your way. But when they do, you have to take full advantage of those opportunities. And they haven't done that tonight. And, you know, that big return, they didn't do anything off of it, and they had a chance to get the ball right back after Central's touchdown, and then they go and force one downfield, but they're going to have to figure something out. And we just saw PJ have a great tackle there, set up 2nd and 15, 2nd and 14, and now that's your chance when you get off the field against a team like this I had mentioned earlier, and then you give up something over the top again. It's got to stop.
Here they come out for the kickoff return. They're looking for some kind of magic here. Get it back going. You know, when you're looking now, you got to look at it. You just need something good to happen and stack them. Stack your good moments. Try to get something going. And that's how you build that momentum and all that good stuff. Harris County's got a nice young team, but very athletic. There's a kickoff. Zephaniah might get opportunity. No. I think it's Jaden Brown with the catch. He's going right up the middle. He's going to be hit and taken down about the 33-yard line. That's Jaden Brown. We've seen him at running back this year, now getting a chance as the up back with that return. And it looked like Robinson, Brown, and Zephaniah all went for the ball together there.
Yeah, and that could have been trouble, too. If they're all trying to go for the ball, it's like a fly ball in baseball when you see two outfielders almost coming together. But good communication there. Ended up only having one go for it and set them out around the 32-yard line, 33.
And here's Caden Harrison back out on the field. In this pistol formation, Matt Love behind him. Love's going to get it. He finds a little bit of a seam. He's hit and taken down about a 4-yard gain. And Love checks out. Myers checks in for the Tigers.
That's a great sign there from, you know, that little 4-yard run, right, that opens up more things. And, you know, we've talked about the running back so much, but haven't given too much credit to the offensive line that have given Matthew Love, you know, these chances to have these big runs. They've done a great job this year.
Harris County trips up to the top. They're going to hand it to Myers. He goes up the middle. He's hit, and he's going to get about 4 yards himself and make it a 3rd down and 2 situation here for the county. And Harris County running an offensive lineman out there as they take Jalen off. See Justin Martin coming into the game. And he's going to switch. And he's going to switch Liam Colley out here to the side of the left tackle. So you got 2 tackles over here on the left side of the line. And Finn Taylor's going over there with Justin Martin on the right side. You got 2 receivers up top. Myers going to get the handoff. He cuts it up. And he's going to get the county 1st down. He gets to about the 46-yard line. And Harris County trying to get some momentum going. Nolan Johnson coming into the game. And he's going to spell Carter Myers. Alex Sloan you see going up to the top with Cade Tyus and Willie Jones up at the top of the screen. Nolan to the left. And it's going to be kept by Harrison. He's going to keep going. And he's going to be down. It may move the chains. If not, it's super close. Let's see. They're going to call it 2nd down.
I don't know. I think Harris County may have got away with something right there. I mean, he looked like he ripped that ball out kind of before he went down. Good thing there's no instant replay in high school football.
It's super close. Pistol formation. Trips again up to the top. Same 3. As they get a line up top. They're going to hand it to Nolan. He cuts out there. He gets the first down. And here comes Harris County. This is just what we talked about, Ethan. Stack your good moments. You get the first down. Now you get another first down, and you can kind of feel confidence growing with the momentum.
Absolutely. You keep running the ball well, too. That could open some things up through the air, and if they can keep running the ball like this, it could be a very good night for them.
Jones and Tyus up top. As you see, they flip back. They're going to hand it to Myers. He cuts up the middle, and they're trying to find something. They may have it with that little play right there. And they got a bunch of big bodies in the field to make these plays go. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5. Harrison takes it, hands it to Myers again, who cuts up. He's driving his legs. And they're going to have him about the 34.5. That's where you need to get for the first down. And the official at the bottom of the screen says, move those chains, and there they go. And Harris County with this offense running the ball. Good Harris County Tommy Watson offense right here. Getting the ball moved down there. Now they're going to switch that lunch line to the bottom of the screen. You got Finn Taylor in at tight end. They're going to fake it. Harrison's going to run. He makes a man miss. He breaks out. And they're going to spot him about a yard short, maybe half a yard short. And he'll be right on the 25-yard line. And hey, they ran it with Nolan, ran it with Carter enough on that same long kind of play. He pulls it back in a nice 9-yard run. See Justin Martin checking back into the game on that right side. There you see Liam Colley coming over to the left, number 50. Next to Trey Anderson. Barfield, Sappington, and Williams, your other offensive linemen. And this is handed to Myers. He cuts up, fumbles the ball, and it's picked up. Caden Harrison, the only chance they got, and he makes the tackle. Let's see, somebody came in there. Willie Jones.
Yeah, as soon as you think.
Harris County, we got a Jack Houston Memorial Hospital injury timeout, and with it, we're going to take a break right on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Whether you're building your business or finding your dream home, G2 Real Estate is with you every step of the way. Commercial or residential, our mission is the same, turning your vision into reality. With experience, insight, and a commitment to your success, we're more than brokers, we're your partners. G2 Real Estate, building futures one property at a time.
And we're still with the injury timeout. It's going to be Central Carroll's ball around the 46-yard line.
Lions 1st and 10 from their own 46.
2:10 left here in the first quarter. Pistol formation, Walden down there in the motion. They're going to hand it off right up the middle. And he's driving his legs. Let's see who that was with the carry. That was the other Walden. Believe that. I would go out on a limb and say maybe that's a little brother of Jonez. And he's going to stay in there at running back. They got two receivers kind of stacked here in the hash mark. And they're going to drop back. He's looking on the other side of the field to Walden. He has, and they pull him down. But after the first down, looked like maybe that was TJ Green coming in making the tackle. It was. We're playing linebacker. Handoff up the middle, goes to the outside, and he's going down the sideline, 20, 15, 10, and he's brought down. Keith Doffett with the tackle. And we've got a flag on the field. You know, it's hard tonight. You won't find the yellow flag. You got to find the pink flag. So you have to retrain your eyes, Ethan, look for that pink flag. And there's one on about the 33-yard line. It's going to be a hold on Central Carroll. Going to make it a 1st and 20 play. Right here, you back them up. It's going to be a spot of the foul flag, so it'll be a 1st and about 13. They got duos on both sides. Actually trips over here. Walden, that running back, kind of in the slot right there on the HC. Nobody in the backfield other than J.R. Harris, the quarterback, already with 2 touchdown passes. And there's the snap. He's going to throw wide out here to Jonez, and he's wrapped up and drives forward. Nolan Johnson getting the tackle. Damon Brooks coming in. Preston Jenkins coming in, helping him out. Second down and 5 for Central Carroll. We're under a half a minute to go here in the first quarter. Walden coming in motion. They're going to hand it to him. He's got a lead blocker. He's going to cut at the hash marks. P.J. Sterling comes in and gets the tackle, but after the first down, but nice tackle right there for P.J.
Yeah, absolutely. He made a couple good tackles earlier tonight. Good to see him still out there making those plays.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter here in the county. Early on, it's Central 14, County 0 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith and Opelika. Silverado and Colorado trucks ready to roll. Get going in a powerful new full-size Chevrolet Silverado with discounts up to $13,500 off. Drive away in the midsize Chevy Colorado ready for work or play. Discounted up to $4,000 off. People from all over the USA are going to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
And welcome back. Rick Beach, Ethan Petitt with you on the Derek Moxley Concrete Service Harris County Game of the Week, with Harris County and Central Carroll locking horns in the jungle tonight.
And here we go at the start of the second quarter.
Harris in the pistol formation. And the snap goes over his head. Harris chases it down, picks it up, and he slides down. And it'll be a big loss. Taken back to the 39-yard line. And when you look, Ethan, you got to think just how the season's going. When Harris County puts it on turf, it seems the other team scoops it up. When the other team puts it on the ground, they scoop it up themselves.
Yeah. That one was just a case. I mean, they weren't able to get back there fast enough.
You just wish that's when you had that pass rush to get back there. But you couldn't. Central Carroll going to spread it out right here. Trying to get County to jump off sides, get a cheap yardage back. They don't. PJ's coming back there. He makes a spin move coming from behind. He dives at the ankles and misses. And he's finally chased out of bounds. Looks like Indris chased him out of bounds. But the pressure from PJ definitely helped out right there and prevented a big play as he was looking deep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, PJ's had a great night so far tonight, continuing to make plays there from that edge. Almost made another good one there, but forced him out of bounds, and we'll take it. Now a 3rd and long.
3rd and 21 is what the scoreboard is showing. Harris, they're bringing in an extra blocker at the tight end. They're going to fake the handoff, drops back, has a little bit more time, throws an out route that skips. It goes incomplete, and that'll be 4th down and 21 from the 35-yard line. Definitely no man's land, but at this distance is even crazier. Let's see what Central Carroll coaching staff wants to do here. And looks like punt team possibly coming in. Might be the field goal unit as Harris is still out there. Yep, he's listed on their depth chart. They gave us fancy depth chart as the starting punter is J.R. Harris. And here's the snap to Harris. Rolls to his right, boots it up, and it's going to go bounce. Look at that Central Lions bounce. And it may be inside the 20. Let's see. He's at the 18. He's at the 19, and that's where he'll spot the ball right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
And here we go. Right in action. Harrison fakes it, goes up the middle.
Harrison keeps it.
And they're going to gain 2 yards on the play.
2-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 8.
Justin Martin running back out there. Checking in on that offensive line. Justin's only a sophomore. 65 right there at right tackle. So that puts 2 tackles on the left side, Trey Anderson and Liam Colley. Now Finn Taylor steps up to the line. Matt Love goes to the left of Harrison. They're going to hand it to Love. He's looking for a seam, and nothing's there except white shirts. And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. There's going to be 3rd down and 8 for Caden Harrison.
I'm not mad at these play calls at all, because if you look at last drive,
yeah,
Central really was not stopping them through on the ground. It was just that fumble that wasn't caused by Central. It was he just dropped it. But now obviously passing down, I would think. But I mean, they were running the ball very good last drive, and I'm glad to see them go back to it despite that fumble.
And right here you got Aiden Robinson, Jalen Robinson, and Cade Tyus up at the top. I think it might be Willie Jones. I might have messed that one up. Harrison has all day. He puts it up in the air to Cade Tyus. Ball's telling back. Did Cade come down with it? No, he didn't. It's incomplete. As that ball just hung up a little bit longer, and I'm sure Caden would even tell you the same thing. Ball just hung up a little too long, but Tyus did have his man beat.
Yeah, absolutely. He did, straight off the route, and, you could see it straight off the line. That's something Cade is really good at, is getting straight off the line. His release is great. And, I mean, he had his receiver beat there, and I think if that ball is released just slightly, earlier, that could go for a lot of yards.
But it turns out it's going to be 4th down and 8, and Nate Batchelor will come in and punt it away. Cowboy Sappington will lead the shield. He flashes his arm. There's a snap, and the ball goes away. A nice driving punt, fair caught about the 46, 47-yard line. And that's where Central Carroll will take over at the 47. And here comes Central Carroll. And you got to think Central Carroll 7-0 at this point in the season. You know, their goal right now, they're thinking a trip to Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
And the way the offenses look, you see the size. They're, you know, looking at their depth chart. So they line up in this 5 wide right here. Harris looks like he's looking for a lane to run, and there he goes, takes off to the sideline and scoots out of bounds. And that was Damon Brooks. You know, you see a team that's shooting for the dome, and unfortunately for Harris County, but, you know, some of these schools we've played this year, you think back to Troop, who's undefeated still. Big game with LaGrange tonight in their region, but they're looking to play in the dome. Obviously, Carver, Columbus looks to repeat. They're going back to the dome. So, you know, for Harris County, you've got a young team of all years to have that young team. You're playing some absolute juggernauts. And here's Harris again, the shotgun. J.R. Harris waiting on the snap. He's got 3 wide to the bottom, 2 at the top. He's looking at the top, still waiting, no pressure. Finally roll him out a little bit, and guess who it is rolling him out? P.J. Sterling, and the pass is incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 7, and, you know, there it is again, number 10 for Harris County making a play on defense.
Yeah, absolutely, and those are one of those guys that can just change the game with how he plays, right? And, you know, that's like the Aaron Donalds and, you know, those guys in the NFL that, you know, they base, you know, it's just so hard to counter that when this guy's getting through the line every single time. PJ's been that guy these past couple weeks.
He really has, getting better each and every week. And here we go on 3rd down. Central Carroll looks to the sidelines. You know, Harris County's had a, you know, tradition the last couple of years of having that dude come from that end spot. You think Holden Hayek, you know, Bishop Adams last year, this year is PJ becoming that dude. The little stunt right there for PJ. Can't get in there. There's going to be a wide open receiver down at the bottom. He trips and falls. But it's going to be a 1st down, and Central Carroll will be about the 32-yard line. And again, Harris County not able to get off the field on 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's something that they need to do to just try and get back in this game, is especially when it's not 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, when they can run it with their running back, but make them throw the ball. But that hasn't really worked out for them.
Walden behind Harris right here, and they're going to give it to him up the middle. He bounces to the outside, cuts back in. He goes a 20, 10, 5 touchdown. And Central takes a 20-0 lead. And right there, the Notre Dame commit makes the man miss, cuts it up the middle. And as a Georgia fan, that number 5 looking like Garrison Hurst in the early 90s, cutting around people, making a leap, and just squirting out the hole into the end zone. Get this 20-0 lead. And I think, Ethan, it's fair to say early on, Jonez Walden is as advertised for Central Carroll.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why they talk about him, and that's why these guys are, I mean, he's good, and, you know, that's something Harris County had to do was stop him.
Extra point is good, and that's why these long passing touchdowns we saw early in the game were there, because Harris County has to respect that run game so much, but you creep back even for a second to try to fit, you know, think and pass, and you'll get that on you real quick. And Harris County be waiting on the kickoff here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget, at halftime, we'll have the Sound of the County presented by the Beck Center. Proud to show that. We love having the Sound of the County and what they've done this year. A fantastic job Dr. Libby has done with the band. And Central getting the ball teed up. Jake Davis has it on the tee. Now they're talking, breaking up. And he's ready to go. County back deep. Zephaniah, that's going to go over his head and lands in the end zone. That's such a weapon to have, and, you know, that's something we have with Nate Batchelor. We've seen him do it a couple times this year, but he's only a sophomore. You're hoping next year, you know, having somebody that could kick it into the end zone on them touchbacks is such a weapon to have.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially with the struggles they've had this year for Harris County, giving up, you know, a lot of kickoff returns and having that ability to just, you know, take that away every time, right? Just kick it into the end zone, you know, give them the ball at the 20-yard line. It's such a, you know, a part of the game that isn't talked about enough, especially in high school, because, you know, of course you get to college, NFL level, they're all booting it in, you know, touchbacks. And
right, every team can do it at that level. You got Willie Jones and Cade Tyus here at the bottom. They're going to hand it to Love. Makes a man miss, runs in the middle, and spun around, gains about a yard, and he'll bring up second down. They're going to give him 3. And it's Willie Jones and Tyus. Now they're getting orders. Finn Taylor blocking that tight end spot for Caden right there. It looks like Nolan in the game at running back. Now the receivers get on the line. Change the play a little bit. There's a snap. They're going to hand it to Nolan right up the middle. And he got about a yard, and they'll bring up a third down. And 6.
Short gain on the play.
Harris County keeping the same personnel on the field.
3rd and 5.
Same formation. Willie's off the ball this time. So they look over to Coach Watson. And now they flip the receivers, putting Cade at the slot, and they're going to move to a shotgun from the pistol. Still got Finn Taylor in there, and we have a timeout. Central Carroll, as they're going to talk about it. Let's take it with them on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County. And welcome back. Harris County's coming out of the huddle over here on this 3rd and 5. And Harris County looking to get a first down. They had that drive earlier that ended with a fumble. Unfortunate fumble. And now they're trying to stack a first down right here and get something going. Looks like Jalen has came in at this slot spot. Caden fakes it, throws it down the middle. Cade Tyus just over his outreached hands and makes it 4th down. And here comes the punt squad and punt it away. As Tyus again just over his outstretched fingers. And Harris County has to punt it. Here comes Nate Batchelor. Cowboy says, let's go, and they do. Kicks it away. Spinning, fair catch called for. Bounces, takes a county bounce, rolling around the 35, down to the 30, and it'll stop right there by Damon Brooks. Nice punt by Nate Batchelor right there, flipping field position a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, he's done that a lot this year, and that's something that's huge in football, being able to flip the field like that and make Central drive. We've seen a couple big plays from them. You know, one drive that that they did very well. But, you know, make these guys have to establish something.
Pistol formation is Harris. He's going to hand it off. Goes right up the middle. Jones. Damon Brooks comes in, grabs a hold of him and won't let go. And he'll get the tackle. Brooks with a solo tackle on the young man from Central Carroll, and all they could do is hold on, but he got him down. And it was a Central Carroll first down, and they're lined up in that pistol again. They're going to run it again off tackle. Harris County's waiting on him that time, and they had more than Damon Brooks. There's about 3 of them got in there. See Albury getting in there. Nolan Johnson on the tackle. And Indris Albury's having a great season. It seems every week we got to say his name. And, you know, like P.J. Sterling, each week he's been getting better and better. And that defensive line's gotten better and better each week. And you can starting to tell here, even against this talented team from Carrollton. Harris throws it way out here to the top of the screen. And Rutledge makes the tackle. And they're going to give him, looks like almost the first down, may give it to him. Looked like he's going to be a little short, but in the second effort got it. And Jake Ivester with the reception. They're bringing in a big tight end. It looks like our extra offensive lineman coming in for a receiver coming off. They got another offensive lineman back here in this formation. Drop back, hand it to Jones. And they hit him, riding him down to the ground. And this is going to be a Jack Houston Memorial Hospital injury timeout. And see Coach Watson out here talking to the defense. See Coach Garrison and Winkles. They got to try to find answers for Jones. And we'll see if they do right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
It's a great day for a new Chevrolet from Glenn Smith and Opelika. Silverado and Colorado trucks ready to roll. Get going in a powerful new full-size Chevrolet Silverado with discounts up to $13,500 off. Drive away in the mid-size Chevy Colorado ready for work or play. Discounted up to $4,000 off. People from all over the USA are going to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
And welcome back. Harris County, Matthew Alexich jumps off sides, tries to get back, and he cannot. And I make it a second down and short. Handoff up the middle. He tries to bounce to the outside. Harris kind of waiting on him. And P.J. Sterling getting in there. Also coming in to help him out was T.J. Green. And that's going to make it third down. 1 yard to go for the Lions. And they're bringing in some beef to try to run this ball. They get in close to the line. Under centers Harris. Drops back, gives it to Walden. Harris County comes in, tries to go for the tackle, and misses him at the line. They finally get to him, but it looks like he has a yard to the good, and it's going to be first down for Central Carroll. They're looking over to getting the signs. Right here on the 35-yard line. Zaylen in at running back. They're going to throw it out here to the outside. Jake Ivester with the catch, and he's brought down. Looks like KJ Neal getting in there with the tackle. Matthew Alexich as well. Make it second down and about 7.
Second and 8 for the Lions.
There's the handoff. He's cut to the outside. Zaylen's Pearson. And it's going to bring up a third down and about 4. As Central Carroll's eating at that clock here in the second quarter.
Tackled by TJ Green.
Third down. 4 to go. They look over to the sidelines to get the signs. And they hand it. He's getting wide. He's going to get the first down. And he's brought down. Big hit right there. It looked like Preston Jenkins coming in there. But it's going to be a first down. And there's laundry on the field. Looks like a flag at the 21-yard line. Let's see if we have a hold. It looked like Damon Brooks might have been being held on that play. Just see what the call is here. I didn't see the white hat. He's going to wind the clock, but they did march it back, and it's repeating third down. Third down and 7 for Central. Harris drops back, gonna be a little screen. And right there on Johnny on the spot. P.J. Sterling again making the play, bringing up fourth down. And it's fun to see P.J., early on when he was doing just kickoffs early sophomore year, a little bit last year playing some, and just as he's matured, and then this year as the season's gone on, better and better. And how about him recognizing that screen right there, making the tackle?
Yeah, great read by PJ there, like you just mentioned. He's been phenomenal tonight, or not only just tonight, but throughout the season as well.
Central Carroll letting the clock run down. And they're going to call timeout.
Timeout Central.
And we're going to stay right here with you. We're at 1:07 to go. Don't forget to go to the Touchdown Club social media pages. Get you a raffle ticket to win the Kubota side-by-side. They're giving away diesel engine, awesome machine that they're going to be raffling off. Next week, winner will be announced. So make sure you go to the Touchdown Club. All their social media sites will have the QR ticket you can scan. You can also go to hctdclub.com to their website. They're breaking the huddle up. Fourth down and 8 from the 33-yard line. It's a long 8. Just a 1:07 to go here in the half. Harris with Jonez Walden behind him. And the pistol he's been in all night long. Drops back, looking downfield. He's going to throw it long, deep over the middle, and incomplete. And Harris County is going to take over right there on the 33-yard line as the defense stood tall. With a minute to go, Harris County will have an opportunity to get back on offense. And, you like seeing defense making the adjustments, making some little adjustments. trying to rein them in some to get the stop there on the big 4th down. Here comes Caden Harrison. You look at the timeout situation. Carroll's got 1. County's got all 3 in their back pocket. See how they want to play it here. They're going to hand it to Love. You're seeing if he could pop one. He just may. And he's going to get about 9 yards on the carry. And they're going to go NASCAR right here. They're getting fast. Zephaniah coming in on offense. Snap, hand to McGee, and nothing doing. And that was Hodges coming in, making the tackle, killing any kind of momentum County might have had. Let's see if they let Caden drop back and throw one here, Ethan. Under 20 seconds on 3rd down and short. Shotgun formation. Hand it to McGee. He cuts up the middle, and again, he's slung all around. And let's see if he got the 1st down. They're marking it like he did. Hard running right there for Zephaniah McGee. And with 8 seconds, they got the 1st down. And the clock is running. And that's how we'll end the first half. All Central here in Hamilton. Don't forget, we're going to have the Sound of the County presented by the Beck Center here at halftime. Before that, we're going to take a break here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Carroll County School Superintendent, Mr. Scott Coward, and Central High School Principal Kelly Edwards, I proudly present the Central Carroll High School Marching Pride. The Marching Pride is under the field direction of Drum Major Katie Williams and Assistant Drum Major Clarence Foster. The band captains are Jeremy Norton and Anna Claire Beverly. Percussion captains are Braylon Johns and Catherine White. Color guard captains are Madison Wilson, Billy Guerrero Morales, and Cheyenne Vaughn. The Marching Pride will be performing a portion of their 2025 production entitled Lost in New York. Musical selections tonight will be 1,000 Miles, Ninja Turtles, I'll Be There For You, 76 Trombones, and New York, New York, My Way, and finale to Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. Drum Major Katie Williams, is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax, but get ready, because here comes the pride. Marching Pride is under the direction of Director of Bands Riley Mitchell and Associate Directors Luke Batts and Courtney Neidhart. The percussion director is Brandon Cunningham, and color guard staff include Teresa Wiley and Gabby Hervey. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for the Central Carroll High School Marching Pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field for your halftime entertainment, the Sound of the County Tiger Band. Tonight they will be performing their show, The Wedding DJ, featuring your favorite musical hits from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Drum majors Savannah Ludi, Abby Johnson, and Evan Simmons. Is your band ready? You may now take the field for a halftime performance. to the sound of the Tiger Marching Band.
I gotta put the crowd mic back.
It's now time to announce the winning ticket for the Split the Pot contest. Winner will receive $307 tonight. Winning ticket number 621-9299. 621-9299.
And welcome back to the second half here in Hamilton, Georgia. Harris County hosting Central Carroll, 7-0 Lions. Rolling in the town. Tanner Gunther about to kick it off, and there's a high kick towards the sidelines and lands out of bounds about the 25-yard line. They'll drop a flag. And that's not necessarily always a bad thing when you're having struggles on kick coverage. It's like I asked you the other night, Ethan, you ever seen a man return a kickoff for a touchdown on a ball that went out of bounds? But, man, they're going to move the penalty and re-kick it looks like. Now they're kicking from the 35. And they'll rack it up, do it again. And they'll kick it again. And this is going to be caught at the 38. Fair catch by number 12 for Central Carroll. And that's where they'll take over here in the third quarter. Harris County's defense, we saw it stand up there in the half, getting the fourth down stop. Ethan, you'd like to build off that momentum right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we saw them first half run the ball very well, and then they were able to, like, you know, move the ball a lot, and then they couldn't. After that fumble, their drives kept stalling out. But defense is where they're going to have to come through here in the second half. They want any shot at trying to come back.
First and 10.
Here's the pistol formation. Harris drops back, looking. He's going to check it down to Walden. Big block on the outside on Brooks. Brooks misses the tackle. KJ misses the tackle. And finally, Preston Jenkins, the junior from Waverly Hall, comes in and brings him down, but he'll get the first down. First down on the Harris County side of the field. Hand it off to Little Walden. He kicks to the outside. He's got 10, 12 yards. And there you go, Ethan. Ethan, it helps when you say it out loud. You're saying there's a flag up here. And just go ahead and tack on some more on that run.
First down, Central.
First down right on the 30-yard line. Fakes it, throws it out here, and incomplete. Intended for Avery Tanner.
Second and 10.
Be second and 10 right here on the 30. Going to line back up in this pistol formation. Hand it right up the middle, and Little Walden's going to get about 6, 7 yards. As soon as I let it out of my mouth, I knew I said something bad. Ethan shot his eyeballs at me, and that's not my best moment. He picked up 6 yards. Pistol formation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, thank yourself. Be happy. Harris drops back, throws it out there, caught, and they're going to have it completed down about the 13-yard line. Nice catch right there by Griffin Bass. And Central Carroll's coming out of the break with that momentum they had in the first quarter, it looks like. There's the handoff getting real wide. Still cuts up at the 5. He makes a dive. Let's see if they say he stepped out. He's marking at the 1-yard line. Keith Doffett with the pursuit and got him out of bounds. But it's going to be first and goal from the 1. Under center, this little diamond formation. Got the 2 big bodies to block, hands it off. And Jace just dives in. Jace Walden, touchdown. And Central Carroll goes up 27, pinning the extra point, looking for 28. And that's how they'll start the second half, pretty much how they did the first half, slicing it right down the field, Ethan.
Yeah, and Central just hasn't really lost momentum all night, and they've been able to move the ball on the ground a lot, and that's something that, we said before the game is they had to take away, but, it's easier said than done a lot when you have a Notre Dame commit on the other side running the football. But, yeah, and Harris County, I think, see this extra point, I think they'll, they've shown some promising signs on offense with running the ball, and, they had 1 or 2 drives where they were running it very well, and, just stalling out drives, I think, throwing it downfield on 3rd and 4 after, you had gotten 6 yards on 2 runs, I think is, I don't know, but, I mean, I think more like 10-yard passes, right, crosses, digs, I think are perfect for what they've been trying to build, but we'll see.
See how they come out here in the second half on offense. We talked about the youth of the offense, the sophomores, and, to start the season, we had so much depth and experience on the defensive side of the ball. But as the season goes, you see the injuries starting to add up. It started with Kingston, DJ, Joe Taylor, which he was on offense more. But, Joe Taylor, then in the first half, Harris County looks like it was Carter Myers had an injury. He was on the sidelines, had his knee wrapped up. So hopefully we're hoping it's nothing serious, but he could be out the rest of this game as McGee's going to catch it. He's at the 20-25, gets hit and driven down about the 26. You're hoping the Carter Myers injury is something, not as serious. Maybe it looks, bad when they wrap it up. But all that, Matty Osborne, the trainer here at Harris County, is a fantastic trainer. And, you got to err on the side of caution, especially with kids. And it's just one of those situations. And you also got Nolan Johnson. He's, out of his pads with a upper body injury on the sidelines. And, you're just looking. We talked about our uniform pick. All 4 of the players we used to, reveal the new uniforms. There's a handoff to Love. He cuts to the side, cuts up the middle, and he's going to get 4.5 yards. The injury bug bit all 4, and they're all seniors. And that, they're all seniors, all defensive side of the ball. And that catches up to you. And, it seems like here the later part of the year is catching up with this defense for Harris County. So Harris County going with trips up top. Willie Jones is going to be in the middle of Jalen and Cade. Caden looks at the sidelines. Gets the change. Love going to move down beside him. Harrison gets the snap. He looks up to the top. He's going to pump fake and then throw it. And dropped by Jalen. That's something you don't get to say too much. That's going to bring up 4th down. Or 3rd down, rather. And 6. And right here on the 30-yard line. And Willie Jones runs off. Justin Martin comes in. They're going to go big on the right side this time with Liam and Justin. You got Finn over there with Trey. Harrison getting the call. They're going to flip Finn to the other side. They're going to hand it to Love. He's looking for a hole, and it closed up. It was there, but then it closed up quick. Now bring up 4th down and about 4. And the punt team coming in. Nate runs in with the ball. Preston Jenkins will snap it. See KJ Neal, Keith Doffett coming in as well. I believe that's 35. Owen Lee back in the game too, trying to run down this punt. There's the snap and the kick. Nice kick, going back, driving him back. It hits off a man, and Harris County's going to try to fight for it, and now they're just going to drive him down. If you can't get the ball, at least try to make him pay for trying to catch it.
Yep.
And again, that's just the way the ball bounces in these games. In the game like this, it's just don't bounce the county's way. But they'll take over on the 26-yard line.
Yeah, that was something you had mentioned earlier. When another team would fumble the football, it would take a very fortunate bounce right back into their hands. We've seen that way too much this year.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's just one of those times. I mean, the game, nothing has gone your way. And it's just, little things like that really make you mad because, that's something you have a chance to get a turnover. You get good field position, and then it bounces right back to them. But just, also, though, a great punt from Nate.
Yeah.
Which we've seen a couple times tonight and throughout the year.
Here we go, pistol formation. Zylan getting the carry. Person carrying it and taken down. He gets about 4 yards on the carry. Looking over. They're saying Alexic getting the tackle, and that's something, some of these names, when you look out in there, you look at that linebacker core right now, you got Doffett, TJ Green, and Matthew Alexic, your 3 linebackers. There's a handoff on the little jet. That's Avery Tanner going around the end.
Avery Tanner, the ball carrier.
And he'll have first down yardage.
It's a Lion first down.
They're going to move the chains, keep the clock rolling. See Alexic going to the top of the line on defense. He backs out. Now Doffett wants to start coming in. They're going to run it, trying to get the edge. Diving in was Preston Jenkins, and just not quite holding on to the ankle long enough. And flags everywhere. And see what's going on here. Ain't going to speculate. They try to settle that out. Me and Ethan looking out across the field. Ethan, when you look at Central Carroll, something me and you did during baseball season, when you see these different uniform combinations, I think it's easy to look at Harris County, no matter the uniform combo, and automatically think Missouri. It has the Mizzou look. But when you're looking at Central Carroll, I'm stuck between Mississippi State and Washington State. Who are you thinking they look like?
I think I'm going to go Mississippi State here. And I think I'm saying that more of the coaches' gear and the colors. But, I walked, when a couple of coaches walked by at Pure, I thought Mississippi State, I thought that's what they had on.
Yeah.
But, it looks like a SEC matchup here tonight in Harris County.
Yeah, the uniform. It's fun to do it in all sports. You can do it, I think being a sports fan, I know you're a big sports fan. Baseball, I just, the purity of baseball, and you watch the uniform combinations, and you get so used to seeing your own, so it's fun when you see these teams come in. And some of them look like major league teams, but sometimes you'll see one, and you're like, man, that one reminds me of a college team or a minor league team sometimes. Here's the snap in this pistol formation on second down. Harris dropping straight back, throws it deep downfield, has a man running down there, and he drops it. And it looked like the receiver was looking at the goal line before he caught it. That was Jake Ivester. It looks like he had it falling down in the breadbasket, and he took his eyes towards the goal line and lost it.
Yeah, and that is 99 out of 100 times why receivers will drop wide open footballs, is because they're so ready to look forward. They turn their head, and they lose track of catching the football first instead of, trying to just, advance and make a move. And, that's something receiver coaches, everyone's going to stress.
Yeah, they are. They flip the tight end, Rhett Nelson. Now here's the big third down play. They're going to hand it off to Little Walden. He gets hit. Harris County pushing him back. They're going to bring up a fourth down. T.J. Green getting in there. KJ Neal getting in there as well. Man, all these initials, PJ, KJ, and TJ, all going in there for Harris County. Fourth down, Harris County's got to get on there quick as Central gets on the line quick. Jake Harris going to do it. J.R. Harris, quarterback sneak, no push needed. So he's just going to blast in there and get the first down. And he'll also cross midfield.
First down, Central.
All on midfield. And that's a Jack Houston Memorial Hospital injury timeout. As Coach Watson goes out there to talk to his guys, and they try to catch their breath. Let's take it with them on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
For game day, work day, or any day, Glenn Smith in Opelika is loaded with GMC Sierra and Canyon trucks. Choose from a huge selection of the best-selling full-size GMC Sierras, discounted up to $13,750 off. Test drive the new mid-size GMC Canyons with a comfortable ride and strong towing, discounted up to $4,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until December. Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Get ready to drive and get ready to smile.
And welcome back to Hamilton. Rick Beach, Ethan Petitt. High atop the press box here at Danny Durham Field, Tiger Stadium. And, the offense jumped, but it looks like the offensive lineman moved, which caused him to jump. And that's going to back up Central Carroll.
Start Central.
They mark that off, 28-0 Central Carroll. And here goes shotgun formation. They try to get them yards back. See the hard count. County don't move. Right up the middle comes the Tigers. They overrun it. And now he's going to run to the outside. He's got a lot of yardage going for the first down. And he's going to be real close. Tigers had a man coming up the middle. Not sure who that was. I didn't even have a chance to see the number. He was going so fast. And that's going to bring it 2nd and 2. So we're inside 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Central Carroll up on the ball. J.R. Harris, pistol formation. They run this most of the night. They just sub out a tight end for a wide receiver here and there. And there's the play fake. P.J. rolls him out. Now Reggie's giving chase. Wide open receiver at the 25, inside the 20, cuts around the 15. Taken down about the 14 by Matthew Alexic. And Ethan, I can even see your body language. He was wide open on about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, but I think at the same time I got to cut them some slack because it is hard to cover somebody for more than 3 seconds. And I mean, eventually in a zone coverage like that's something like that's going to open up if that quarterback rolls out long enough.
Yeah, here we go with a handoff. He's still fighting. They're going to bring him down. He's going to gain about 2 or 3 yards. That was Zylan Pearson. I'd like to thank Fox's Pizza for their pregame meal tonight. They brought a Big Daddy pizza up here to the broadcast booth, and I know our guys dug into it like crazy, enjoying that pregame meal by Fox's Pizza. Thanks, Stephen Duke. Now Harris drops back, has a man open and through the hands. That was Rutledge. I'm sorry, that was Montrez Woods on the coverage. And here's a big 3rd and 8 for this Tigers defense. Beat up, battered, and fighting their butts off tonight as this defense. Harris, nobody else in the backfield. And that's going to make it 3rd and 3. Third and 8 sounded a whole lot better, didn't it, Ethan? 3rd and 3.
Yeah.
Lions 3rd and 3.
Jace Walden. We're assuming, I forgot to ask the Carrollton broadcasters. And they're to the left of Harris. He don't need him. He's rolling out. KJ Neal with the pressure. Don't matter. They're going to get a touchdown out of it. Touchdown pass, J.R. Harris. That was Allison Simmons, his 2nd touchdown of the night. That was a lot tougher than his first one. And it's 34-0 here in Hamilton. Waiting on the extra point right here. Snap's good, holds good. Kick is going to land in Pine Mountain if they ain't careful. It's good. It's 35-0 here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
And welcome back. Harris County is Rick Beach and Ethan Petitt with you. This 3rd quarter, all 4s on the scoreboard, and there's the ball up and on the goal line in the end zone. And don't forget Monday, round 2, Elite, looking for a berth in the Elite 8, the Sweet 16 matchup, Harris County softball and Cambridge, rematch from last year's Sweet 16. Cambridge and Harris County went 3 games up there in Cambridge. This year they're coming down to Hamilton to have this matchup. See, Jake can't get the state champions. This is in the right field corner. The ball's over there. You see the softball field lit up. Coach Jenkins and his staff just having a great season. And again, and the players are just awesome, fun to watch. Ethan, we'll talk about them here in a second. As you've been calling the games here late in the season, there's a fake handoff. Plenty of time for Harrison. Throws incomplete. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. And, you got to watch the second game of the first round. And, the first game they had 15 runs in the first inning, 3 in a game. The game you got to call, they had, I believe, 12 in the first. Then they walked them off in the third. But just what can you say about the energy that team brings?
Oh, they bring so much energy. And for them to have multiple hitters in that lineup that can hit a home run, they have those hitters that can come out there, down by 1 at any point, try and tie a game. And they're so electric because they bring that feel that, this game can flip at any point. They've hit the ball so well. They've pitched very well. Mentioned Riley Huckabee. I mean, what a year she's had. Committed to Mercer, I believe.
She flipped her commitment to Florida Gulf Coast. I believe the coach from Mercer took the job at Florida Gulf Coast. And Riley Huckabee flipped, but also congratulations to Chloe Wolfenbarger, who committed to Florida Gulf Coast as well. And, to go along with Gracie Guthrie to Coastal Georgia and Ivy McCormick going to Columbus State. But that's a great honor right there. Harrison drops back again. He's going to chunk it downfield. He says Jalen's down there somewhere and overthrows him. And that brings up 4th down. And, you were talking about softball, and Harris County ran out big number 71 on offensive line. That's freshman Xander Colley coming in playing offensive line. So you can see, the team getting even younger, but he's part of that really good freshman class on the offensive line. And, William Wicks and Jack Johnson, another 2 of those. And defensive linemen, they have another freshman that, I'm excited about seeing. James Snyder, he's had a great season. He's had a leg injury for an off-the-field incident. But, they're just some really good freshmen that I'm excited about seeing these next 2 weeks. And punts away, Bachelor's kick's going to be caught at the 48. And that's where Central Carroll take over. But, when you got a young team, you're having a season that's, it's no bones about Harris County having a struggling season. But, like the 22 year, which was a little different because seeing it from a different perspective, it was different. I was more on the sidelines that year with the media stuff. But you could draw parallels between that team and this team. This team's, I feel like, is a little bit better than that team in ways. But, they had a couple games to get away that year.
Yeah.
Like the Stars Mill game, that was what most games were like in 22. But 23 was the greatest season at Harris County. And not promising next year will be that great. But you could definitely see that, it's going to be a good year because these kids are getting some important reps this season. There's going to be a handoff going towards the outside. He cuts it back. Matthew Alexich coming in, making the play for Harris County as Jonez's little brother got the carry. But, yeah, just looking forward to positive and, what we're looking forward to. And I'm glad that Coach Watts is throwing Xander out there and letting him get some varsity reps against a really, really good team in Central Carroll. It's going to be 2nd down and medium right here for Central Carroll. They're dropping back. Harris slinging it out to about the 40. That's Islandson Simmons. And we talked about softball, fantastic season. Be sure to come to the game Monday, 5:30 the first game. Come check them out. They need all the support in person, make a crowd. But if you can't, Georgia Alabama Sports Live Harris County will have both games Monday and the if game Tuesday. I talked to Coach Willis, and we ironed out that situation. As there's a run for Central Carroll, going to get about 3 yards. But happy that we're going to be able to bring you that game. And we'll have Ethan Petitt calling it. Ethan, this is going to be by far the biggest games you've ever had to call. You're going to have 2 really good softball programs, and they just happen to be playing for a berth in South Commons in the Elite 8. So I know that's exciting times. And something else that's near and dear to Ethan as we wait on the 2nd down play. They're going to flip the tight end to the other side. Harris waiting on the snap. He's going to give it to Little Walton. He's going to cut to the left side. And they dive in there and run him out of bounds. Preston Jenkins still fighting. He gets him out of there. Flag football, 7-1. Your sister is wide receiver for the flag football team. Cricket Collie at quarterback. And, you statistician for the team, and you call the home games, which we don't have many of them this year. So you're kind of on the back burner this year on that. But just what can you say about watching them play? And, Pearson's getting some a lot of touches and racking up the yards, but the distribution that Cricket's pulling off this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I really love to see from a difference from last year to this year is, many receivers touching the football, being able to distribute the football. Macy McGuire's had a great year, and it's so fun to see that because you get to see different girls, be able to touch the ball, and they could, show. And Addison Fowler had a great game last night, and it was so much fun to see, everyone touch the ball. And defense has been great, and that's been just something that that's stayed great. The whole team has, but let's see.
Pass towards the end zone, intercepted. Harris County coming down the sideline. He's at the 20-30. He's going to go by the 40. Makes a man miss. 40-yard line on the Carroll side. Damon Brooks gets the interception. Goes about 60 yards. And Ethan, maybe we should have talked about flag football a lot sooner, as it brings a little good luck to the county. And they're going to try to make a little offensive drive right here and get on the scoreboard in this tough game.
Yeah, absolutely. This was, a very struggling defense coming in onto that drive. Just something, to give your offense to work with. Now you're at the 39-yard line, short field, best opportunity for them to score all night. And let's just hope they capitalize, give them something to go into next game with.
And here we go. We got the Collie boys on the right side, Liam and Xander on the offensive line. Harrison dropping back. Harrison lets it rip downfield, flags out. And let's see if pass interference, Central Carroll. And how about that? You get the interception, big return. And Coach Watson not waiting to take a chance. And right there in the middle of the field, I don't know if you can see it, number 50, he was coaching his little brother right there on that play. That is something so cool to see, is you can see him work, looking at the footwork. And, I think when I go back to watch this game, I'll have to chop that up and send it to Coach Collie and, let him know he's defensive coordinator of the flag football defense and say, look at your kids right here. I know they might fight like all the time because they're brothers, but that was a really cool moment to see after the penalty. Liam Collie, coaching up his little brother Xander, making his debut on the varsity level. Finn Taylor goes to tight end. Here we go. Hand it off. Love up the middle. Driving them legs. We're in the Rick Knight red zone. And Harris County feeding off that momentum from the interception, getting the flag right away. Harrison takes a snap. He's looking down at the bottom of the screen. He's going to throw it up to Jalen, and it sails out. Jalen stepped out of bounds, so he was better off not touching that to prevent an illegal touching.
Well, ref down here threw his hat. I don't know if it fell off or.
No, he threw it for Jalen stepping out of bounds. That way, if Jalen was to touch the ball, he wanted to make sure he had it marked.
I thought for a second maybe Jalen did touch it. I was confused, but.
Oh, yeah, that was rough. 3rd and 2. Under center. Harrison's just going to run behind Cowboy, and he's going to get the first down. Move those chains. They're getting down to the 11. They can get the first down without getting a touchdown right here. Yeah, we're getting down to 30 seconds right here. Harrison pistol formation. He's going to flip it to the right for Matthew Love. He's going to fake the handoff. Harrison's going to keep it. Cuts up across, and he gets to about the 9. Caden Harrison, some tough running. That's something part of his game I've really been impressed with, and, proud of Caden this year, just how tough and physical his running game is. And we're going to go to the 4th quarter. Harris County's driving inside the 10-yard line here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Harris County.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
And here we go. Harris County still in their offensive huddle. Central Carroll's walked out. We're going to start the fourth quarter right here on the 9-yard line. And they've come out of the huddle.
Second and 8.
Matthew Love in the game to the left. There's a pump fake. Harrison going to keep it. He runs the other way. He might want to just throw it away. Big block, Liam Colley. And Caden Harrison gets it down to about the 2-yard line. Caden running back there, trying to find something. Runs into a dead end. He turns it around. He keeps it rolling. Here we go, second down. Third down is short. And was there a whistle? Timeout Central. And Ethan, what'd you think about that play right there? Caden ran to the our side of the field and just threw on the brakes and took off the other way.
Yeah, that was a terrific play by Caden, being able to identify that. He got the defense going one way, he turned the other way and broke it. But also I want to give, a shout out to the offensive line right there, because it seems like so many times, on plays like that where the quarterback goes all the way back across the field, you always seem like there's a hold.
Right.
And especially since he broke that and was able to get close to the first down marker. And a great job there, not having to hold there, and now make it a third and short on the doorstep.
Yeah, you can see Liam Colley came back, and he gave that block that kind of freed up Caden on that edge, and just a great job of not just the hold, but he could have got a blindside block.
Yeah.
He really could have lit that guy up, and Liam did a great job of just kind of cutting him off and getting in his way. And now here we go, third and short. Down on the 2, quarterback sneak. They're pushing, they're driving, and that's going to be enough for a first down, I believe. And Harris County going to have a crack at it from right here at the 1-yard line. It's Caden Harrison. That play was incredible to get us down here, something you don't expect from Caden Harrison. And we mentioned his running, and just, that was his IQ on that one, not just the toughness to get back around. Then the quarterback sneak, and here we go from the half-yard line up to the ball. Quick, under center. They're going to quarterback sneak it. And we're waiting on the officials. It looked like he got in. Touchdown, Tigers. Caden Harrison gets it into the end zone. And they're going, and Nate Batchelor going to come in for the kick. No, that's not Nate. I'm sorry. That's Tanner Gunther coming in for the extra point. Tanner waiting on it. Preston Jenkins with the snap. Caden with the hold. And Tanner with the kick is good. And Harris County's on the board. That's going to cap off the Bashir's Kubota scoring drive. And that play, Harris County gets the interception, gets it to the 40 with a 60-yard return from Damon Brooks. Takes the shot, gets the flag, then they just run it in. There you see Caden Harrison. What a great drive right there by Caden, showing how much he's grown up this season. And you can just see I mentioned the IQ of it, but just, the presence and just the feel of what's going on behind him. And just, great to see that. And it gets you excited about the future when you see plays like that. And you see everybody involved just about is coming back next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And also with Caden, I think we've said a lot when he runs the ball that it's something he doesn't do a lot. But he has done it a lot since he has gotten in. And it almost has become another part of his game that really puts defenses on their toes.
There's a high kick, fair called at the 31. And that's where Central will take over. And you just, you look at things to build on. Harris County, of course, next week is senior night. You got Monday's Meal coming to town. And, you're not worried about Monday's record. What you're worried about is you got to send these seniors off with something, memorable. And you also got to think, for the seniors you want to win because it's senior night. But for everybody else you want to win because you want to have a step in the right direction going into 2026. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it off. And Harris County grabs it. He's going to sling him the wrong way. He's going to get some yardage on that one. Zaylen Pearson on the carry. Be about 2nd and 5. They're going to go the other way to Little Walden. He's going to have a little bit of a seam. They hit him. They're trying to bring him down. I see Doffett and PJ. Then TJ Green's in there as well. Jace Walden carry that one. It'll be a first down with a running clock here in the 4th quarter. Night definitely getting chillier here in Hamilton. There's a snap. They're going to run it to the outside. He hits the seam. There he goes down the sideline. He's at the 30. I don't know if Damon Brooks is going to catch him. He's not. Zaylen Person with a long touchdown run. Brings it to 41-7. Just under 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. The band from Central Carroll, they packed out that whole left side of the bleachers on the away side. If you look close on the concession stand, to the left of the concession stand, you see the little state logos. Them are the track team, Effie Ward, Hannah Huff, got their state championships and the track team's region championships, all that cool stuff. Also on the right of the concession, you couldn't see it, was golf. So, Harris County tipping their cap to all sports up here on the region championships. And for track state championships, we mentioned softball's got their marker on their right field fence to go with 2000, I believe, when they won state. Flag football has their region championships on the field house in the south end of the field. So much here in the county that you just have to, it's a beautiful setting, a beautiful, facilities are just second to none really in this area. And it's fun to see. It's not just football. They tip their cap to all the sports that use, the sports around here.
Yeah, it's so cool, especially from here, to see the baseball field, the softball field, the facility that, almost all the sports use. It's so cool here up in this area and right next to the high school as well.
Yeah. It's going to be a touchback. it's just fun to see the success these other sports are having. And, we mention it, I think, until we're blue in the face sometimes, how much that goes back to having that indoor facility and the multiple sports that use it. The yellow bases that mark softball, the gray bases that mean baseball. We've had, middle school tryouts for baseball in the indoor. And, it's just fun to see. We go in there and you see track being able to practice when it's raining. They can do things in their cross-country trains in there. It's just fun to see. And to see the success that equals out. So here comes Harris County taking over on the 5-yard line. Harrison will be standing on the goal line. Love trying to cut it around. He'll get slung down about the 4.
I'm going to go back to what you were saying about, how young this team is. And, I know the record may not look great this year, but, like you mentioned in 2022, that record wasn't great either. And, the next year, it was one of the best years, if not the best years in Harris County football. But, with how young this team is, how much better they're going to get, it's so promising.
Harrison throws it up down the sideline. Jalen jumps, and they bobble it and intercept it. And they're at the 35-30 cutting across. Barfield makes a dive and misses. Another miss. They're going to get him about the 5-yard line. I'm sorry, that was Wyatt Williams across it. I know Wyatt's your buddy on that one. Saw him trying to go. And that's all effort for Wyatt right there.
Yeah.
People can say anything. He missed the tackle or missed the shot. He really wasn't as close as it might look like. But you got to tip your cap for the effort for Wyatt coming downfield as offensive lineman. And Central Carroll's going to have this ball close.
Yeah,
right here.
That's another thing I want to bring up with, the whole team not giving up. And we saw that in the Northside game especially, and even every game. These guys keep fighting. And what Coach Watson has built, with these even younger kids, not giving up on, in a game like this, right? It's a 35-point game, but, they're still giving it their all. And that's so cool to see.
It's, we mentioned, it's fun when they're running the ball and doing all the stuff, saying this is there's a handoff to person again. He's hit and slung down. And again, they're just not quitting. Preston Jenkins with the tackle. Looks like he got shaken up on that one a little bit. This is going to be a Jack Houston Memorial injury timeout. And they're going to come out here and check on him. Maddie having to run across the field. But there you see Coach Watson right there with his back to you. We always say this is a Tommy Watson play, or that's a Tommy Watson style play. But, you just want to know what a Tommy Watson team or Tommy Watson player is what you're seeing. It's Wyatt Williams down by 35 chasing a guy downfield that he has no business even trying to run with. And you just, that's what you feel these guys are. They give everything they got for Coach Watson. And all the coaches on this staff, and just that's what a Coach Watson team and guy is.
Yeah.
And you see him out there checking on his guy right here, going out there. And Preston Jenkins is a warrior. He's a fighter. He gets out there and he's going to fight, giving all he's got. Down by 35, they're on the goal line. It'd be easy to quit if you're Preston. You've been playing defense this whole game. You've been the long snapper chasing down punts. And, you're playing your heart out, and that shows what this team thinks of their head coach.
Yeah. And also with the younger guys, they're going to be the seniors in a couple years where they're going to be setting that example for the kids that are coming on, as the sophomores and freshmen that, they're going to make them play the same way. They're not going to let these other kids, come by and, but it's a culture here in Harris County that's been built on Coach Watson.
Absolutely. You see Pearson jog it in for the touchdown. So he gets to the outside. I mean, we mentioned the linebackers. You have your entire linebacker core. Now you just had another linebacker / safety kind of hybrid guy go down and come out. And, it's tough. It's tough on the younger guys getting thrown in there. And it's tough on the older guys that's been out there this year. And you look around, and the faces are changing.
Yeah.
You got, a new person coming in at all these positions when you're on this defense that you're already is a new defense with Coach Winkles coming in. So, next year they're coming back. You got Wink, Coach Wink coming back for year 2, and, it develops, and sometimes it takes a while. That 22 team was all new coaches. They had to learn a whole new system on offense, defense, and, some of these things takes a little time. But one thing that hasn't changed is the culture. And, people can say what they want, and it's usually the people that don't have any idea what's going on the field or inside those 4 walls at the indoor facility. But this team is fighting hard. They're just coming up short this year. They're coming up against a run of bad luck. We mentioned this is the 3rd team that Harris County is going to play this year that has a legit shot at playing in the Mercedes-Benz. And then you look at Manchester, they're 2 years removed from playing in Mercedes-Benz. And when you play that kind of a schedule with a young team, it's hard to expect them to go 11-0, at this point in the year. It's just tough. So, it's fun to see some of these young guys get in there, and that they're going to be absolute hell on wheels in the future from times like this.
Yeah, and once those guys, see you, once they lose to them once, they're not going to want to again.
They're not. Here's the high kick, going to be returnable. Called about the 10. He gets to the 20 going right in the middle. Spin move, Jalen, and he'll go down about the 30-yard line. About a 20-yard return. Jalen's just a heck of an athlete. So fun to watch at everything. Special teams, defense. He's made some great plays on defense. And, of course, wide receiver. And you can tell Caden trusts him. He'll throw it up there thinking, hey, I trust my guy on 2 of your guys. And sometimes Jalen is able to come down with it. They got a huddle they're coming out of here. That's McGee in the backfield. Zephaniah coming in at running back. He's going to get the handoff, cuts it up, and just wrapped up and swallowed down. Gains about a yard. That might be my favorite name to say on this Harris County roster, Zephaniah. They call him Z, so, you have to call him that when I see him, but I like saying Zephaniah. Finn Taylor's coming out. They're going to throw out there Ryan Blanton. Blanton played a lot last week, too, at that tight end spot. Blanton and Taylor both are juniors. Zephaniah's going to cut it up, and this time he's going to get about another yard, maybe 2, and bring up a 3rd down. Here's the 3rd and 1 play. Zephaniah staying in the game. He's going to get the handoff. He goes in there for the 1st down. Or 1st down, rather, the yard marker. Gets about a yard or 2 on the gain. Trying to get, I want to mention, Alex Sloan was in at the slot on that possession. They're going to punt this one away. Nate in to kick it off. He's had a pretty good game punting the ball. And looks like that's going to be another one. And fair catch. That was Preston Jenkins was long snapping, so you see he's back out on the field. Damon Brooks walking off. Getting ready for this defense, get back on the field. See Coach Winkles right here coaching them up. Coach Winkles, also the girls wrestling coach. They're getting ready to crank up. Wrestling practice starts next week for Harris County. Coach Winkles, Coach Wingard over here coaching them up. Shout out to Coach Alex Moore And there you see Damon Brooks had the big interception, a 60-yard return that led to the touchdown for Harris County. That interception on the goal line returned it out to the Central Carroll 40. Just a great play to fire him up a little bit, and getting into the end zone was big. So congratulations to Damon Brooks, the All-State Good Hands player of the game. Thanks to Alex Quinney for that. Yeah, Coach Wingard is the boys' coach. Coach Winkles will be coaching the girls, and Coach Moore, the overall wrestling coach, call it the machine over there at the STC building. They get going next week. They'll be the 1st of November, usually the black and gold scrimmage, inter-squad match they have. That's always a big deal. They pack that place out for that black and gold. And Coach Moore's program, year in, year out, you got guys winning and competing for a state championship. The dual teams are, incredible. Just it's a fun sport. I would wrestle when I was in high school, so it's fun for me to watch. But it's really fun watching teams like Harris County, and bounces out, makes a couple men miss, and he's going to dive with the first down. And crossing midfield, we're under a minute. But that wrestling team is fun to watch. When I was coming up and when I wrestled, it was Troup County. And Troup still has a fantastic wrestling program, but Harris County has a program that rivals that. And it's fun to see them get going. All these great sports around here. So we're at 42. They're going to run this clock out. And here's the snap. They're going to run it up the middle, bounces to the outside. They wrap him up and bring him down. And there you go. That's what we mean. They're playing hard till the final whistle. And that should be the last play of the game. And that's right. Central Carroll's going to walk off the field. And Harris County's going to lose this one 49-7. And, they played their guts out. Anytime it's easy to say when you lose, they played hard. But you could definitely tell how hard these kids were playing through all the injuries, through everything that was going wrong. They just never give up. And that attitude is why they won the Daugherty County game. That attitude is why they won the Northside game. When a lot of teams would have gave up against Northside, Northside got the ball inside the 20 and you're down by 15, they keep fighting. And, you play a team like Central Carroll, you get your tails handed to you, but you don't quit, you keep fighting, and you just hopefully next year you see the fruits of this labor.
Yeah, and, we were talking about it the whole game, about how this team just doesn't give in, and, they certainly didn't tonight. They played hard, like you said, till the final whistle, and, what Coach Watson does here, he's going to make sure that they're playing till that final whistle, no matter what the score is, and it's a lot of fun to watch them for that, right? It's not when it's a 40-plus point game and it's still boring to watch, but they're still out there making plays and giving promising signs for the following game, defensively, offensively, and through special teams, everywhere. And it's so fun to watch such a young team, be able to play. And you're going to have games like this, and there certainly has been, a couple this year that we wish weren't like this.
Yeah.
But, it's going to happen. But, and that they just got to learn how to bounce back from it and play next week and get back out to practice, the next week.
That's what they'll look to do. As we're about to take a quick break, we'll be right back with Ethan and Elizabeth will wrap this thing up. So I'm going to sign off right now. So thanks for watching Georgia Alabama Sports Live Harris County. It's been fun with you tonight. We got one more next week that I'll be with you on the Monday's Mill game, senior night. But like I said, I'm going to get out of here. Go Tigers. When we come back, Ethan and Elizabeth will take you home here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live Harris County.
And welcome to the post-game show. I'm joined with Elizabeth Fisher. I'm Ethan Petitt. And, well, it wasn't how Harris County wanted it to go, but, like me and Rick were just talking about, they played hard.
For sure. They tried making a comeback in the fourth, but could only put up one, and they just tried their best.
Yeah, and You mentioned they scored that touchdown there late in the fourth quarter, but that's something they can use in the next game, bring some momentum. They'll be back at home next week for senior night. That's a huge thing, right? And the last game for a lot of these seniors, and we hope to see Carter Myers out there. He suffered an injury in this game, but we're really hoping he can get back out there. And but yeah, senior night next week, playing Monday's Mill. A lot to look forward to in that one. What are you excited specifically for about that one?
I'm excited to see how we overcome this loss and previous losses to end up hopefully winning.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've overcome a lot of losses this year, and it's still a young team, like we've mentioned all throughout the night, and there's a lot to look forward to. Well, that'll do it for the post-game show. For Elizabeth Fisher, I'm Ethan Petitt, and we will see you next week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live Harris County, and go Tigers.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.